Guilt is a feeling of responsibility or remorse for some offense, crime, or wrongdoing, whether it is real or imagined. Another simple way to explain guilt is: guilt is the uncomfortable feeling we often experience when we think we have done something wrong. Guilt is based on a failure of doing, which is usually a direct result of our behaviors and choices. Guilt involves a violation of standards, the ones that we have set for ourselves or the ones we inherit from society. The death of a loved one is never easy to experience, but several circumstances set death by suicide apart and make the grief process more challenging. These can be the traumatic aftermath of a sudden process where the survivor is asked many questions. There may be shame, stigma, and societal isolation, which makes the survivor feel scrutinized by the people around them. Mixed emotions are very common, and grief is present over the death, as well as anger, which is directed towards the deceased individual. Guilt comes from the mistaken belief that we could have or should have done something to prevent the death from happening. Guilt can also arise if there are unreconciled issues with the deceased or regret about things said or not said. There are certain ways in which we can attempt to make your life a little easier if you're dealing with the aftermath of a suicide. The first step is acceptance. Face your feelings and come to terms with your own emotions. In other words, identify and accept what you are feeling. This is the first and foremost step. Next, examine the origins of your guilt. Is the reason that you feel guilt rational and reasonable? Ask yourself, are you being fair when you judge yourself so harshly? Question yourself, could I really have stopped them? Predicting the future with absolute certainty is never achievable. The probability of yes or no is a law of nature. Suicide is a decision, and it remains so even when we consider the distress the person was in. Please do not start questioning your happy memories. Do not ask questions such as, was he really happy with me? Was our first anniversary really a good day for her? Just because a person was upset, it does not mean that he was never happy. Just as the day and night exist, so do opposite emotions. Practice the letter technique by writing a personal and expressive letter for the deceased person, telling them everything you want to tell them. This letter can and in fact should contain both your positive as well as negative emotions. Finally, make a list of I dids. This is a positive list of positive things that you did for the person when they were alive, and should include even the smallest of good gestures. For the person you lost, the pain has ceased. Now it is time to start healing yours.